Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Happy Hour FM.
Hola, muchachos.
I'm here with Chris.
Hello there. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Very well.
I'm Justin, and I'm here with my bud, and we're gonna have a fun show talking about the recent Eurovision Song Contest.
Talking about things I have no clue about.
Well, in preparing this show, because obviously the Eurovision Song Contest happened this last Saturday. In preparing this show, I was thinking, well, I know some stuff about Eurovision.
I know zero stuff about Eurovision.
And Jan Willem isn't here today.
He is not. No.
We don't know how much he knows, but maybe not enough. So I thought, hey, we got to get in an expert, and I pulled probably the how would you say it, smartest Eurovision person that I know in this country.
He wrote the book on it.
I feel like he really could. So without further ado, calling in live from Utrecht, we've got one of my best buds, Jelrik Landstra, here to chat with us today. Jelrik, how about you give us a hello? Live on the show.
Good evening, Europe, and good morning, Australia.
There's a little bit of popping, but this.
Good evening to the softies.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you, and hello to the softies, who I know are a group of Eurovision fans listening live to the show. Jelrik, my friend, how are you doing today?
I'm chill. I skipped class, so you know what's good.
Some things come first.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well,
definitely. And I thought I was gonna get back to normal things after Eurovision weekend, but here I am. Eurovision a lot again. So
keeps going on.
Eurovision never ends. I know you've told me that like the Eurovision week is such like a dreamlike week, and then suddenly it's all over, and you got to wait a whole other year. But I hope this helps extend the feeling a little bit longer. It's very important.
It certainly does. Thanks so much for giving me this chance to deep dive into my obsession even more.
Yes. And hey, if you're listening and you have any questions for my friend Jelrik, or for us, people who don't know anything about Eurovision, you can DM us at our Instagram at Happy Hour FM, or send us a message on our phone number at
050-5715-815.
We get him to read it because it's nice and slow.
Yep.
That's how it is. So, Jelrik, buddy, tell us a little bit, for those who don't know, because I feel like there must be one person, what is the Eurovision Song Contest, and when did it start?
So, the Eurovision Song Contest is a contest of songs that represent countries from all over Europe and sometimes outside of it.
Yeah.
It's been a long time now since it's been here. It's the first edition was in 1956.
That's insane.
And yeah, it's just kind of like a battle royale, but for music and staging and all that stuff. There are two semifinals, in which this year 15 and 16 countries respectively competed to be in the grand final in the first place. And then in the grand final you have 26 countries. Who all battle for the huge crown.
Amazing.
Well, it's not a crown, I guess. It's a trophy that was broken last year. But
you can put it on your head and then it's a crown. But
yeah, if you wear it, it's all good.
What even is a crown nowadays?
Nowadays, dude, woke. No, the song contest started in Switzerland, right?
Yes, this is true.
And then this year was kind of the chance. I think it was in Switzerland a couple more times since then, but it came back to Switzerland, and it took place live in Basel, right?
Yes, yeah, this is true, and it's then also kind of fitting that a neighboring country of Switzerland won this year, Austria.
So, yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Is it still on the topic of like the history of this whole party? Is it like connected to post-war stuff? Because you said it started in the 50s in Switzerland, so Switzerland was like really neutral and stuff. So
let's bring everyone together.
Yeah, they wanted to make like a song contest to make everybody hold hands and be friends and stuff. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's definitely like the main concept behind it is to unite Europe, and that definitely started post-war.
Yeah.
There has been some like different sounds on what if that actually was the case in the first years, or if it has developed to be such a thing, because some people also say it started as just dumb TV and just wanted to make entertainment, but generally speaking, people see it as key part of the Eurovision history to unite Europe in a post-war society.
I've heard it's a bit political sometimes. Like winners are chosen sometimes on the basis of like what's, you know, to make a statement or something. Is that the case or not?
That would be crazy. No, I don't know what you mean. Political voting in Eurovision never happens. I don't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think just to jump in with obviously any political opinions shared on this show are not representative of Oog at large, but I think we won't dive into politics too much.
As if that wasn't obvious.
As if. Obviously the current, there are some issues with the current climate of Eurovision that have to do with politics. I'm sure, Jelrik, you can say something about it, but we'll look at the positives today.
Yes, I find that a very good idea. I think my opinion about that said situation is pretty self-explanatory. It's probably not worth it to deep dive into that, and it's probably better to look at the fun rainbows and sunshine music part of the competition instead.
Yeah, for sure.
For now, at least.
Now, a lot of people might have listened to some songs from Eurovision because of bands like ABBA, for example, when they had their historic win in, what year was that, Jelrik?
1974.
And was that with Waterloo?
It was indeed. Yes.
Did they not win another time, or was that the only time?
You mean ABBA or Sweden?
Well, okay, maybe I was thinking of Sweden then. Sweden won a bunch, didn't they?
Oh, yes. Yes, they are people kind of look down on them because of it. They've won an awful lot, but ABBA only won once.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, because there's a bunch of these like kind of legendary figures in Eurovision, like Mr. Eurovision. What was his name?
Johnny Logan, you mean? I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he won twice for Ireland in 1980 and 1987. Yes,
which is incredible. You know, you're mentioning these. It's had such a long career. This competition. Vaguely speaking, how did it change from like how it was in the 50s to the form it's in now?
Well, that's a very broad question. It's a lot of changes throughout the years. Like for example, up until 1997, it was only decided by juries who won.
Mm-hmm. That's quite late, actually.
Yeah. Before that, it was too difficult to really organize a Europe-wide televote technology and all that. Mm-hmm. But now we can. And for example, in the 70s, people didn't know how to break ties, so 4 countries won at once. Or maybe that was the 60s even.
That's incredible. 4 at a time.
It's all these small changes over the years that make it from what it was to what it is nowadays, I think.
Yeah, and I know you've mentioned a big part is the staging, how staging has evolved a lot. What do you think that is? Is that mainly a technology thing, or is it just because we're getting more creative? What is it that makes staging such an important part now?
I think technology certainly plays a part because people can simply do more creative things. And for example, at Junior Eurovision last year, there was the introduction of alternate reality on stages. That was a good first experiment, I think, but we didn't use it now in the adult version. It's both because visual spectacle is nice for people at home, of course. In the end, it's a couple of thousand people watching it in the arena and millions watching it at home. So if it looks on camera, that's the most important thing.
Right.
It's I think also a cohesion of a couple of things. For example, technology. For example, also creativity, creating a new visual dimension to songs that really can lift them up, whereas on their own they maybe wouldn't have stood a chance in the song contest.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm watching Eurovision with you this last Saturday. There's a lot of songs where maybe if you have a listen just with your headphones or whatever, it sounds like okay or whatever, but then you watch some visual element and it either elevates it tremendously or it makes it maybe a bit ridiculous. It really depends on if you're maybe France or what was the Poland, I believe. Yeah,
the dragon was Poland. Yeah, France was I think they went with a good concept. It was just a very unfortunate shot that became the most viral part of it.
That's some stuff for viewers at home to search. But well, we mentioned the winner was Austria, and I think we're gonna have a quick pause and listen to the winning song of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Jelrik, could you lead us into it?
Sure thing. Here's Austria, who won this year with 436 points. It's JJ with the song Wasted Love.
We'll be right back.
I'm an ocean of love, and you're scared of water. You don't want to go under, so you let me go under. I reach out my hand, but you watch me grow distant, drift out to the sea and far away in an instant. You left me in the deep end. I'm drowning in my feelings. How do you not see that? Now that you're gone, it's worse than love. It's worse than love. Now that you're gone, can't find my heart with worse than love. It's worse than love. When you let me go, I barely stayed afloat. I'm floating all alone. Still I'm holding on to hope. Now that you're gone, it's worse than love. It's worse than love. Now that you're gone, can't find my heart with worse than love. It's worse than
That was Wasted Love by JJ, the winner of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. And we're here on Happy Hour FM with the resident Eurovision expert, Jelrik Landstra, live from Utrecht. Jelrik,
Hello.
tell us about that song. How did you feel about this song being the #1 chosen song to win this year?
Well, okay, so I want to lead with, I think that all of, well, I mean, maybe not all, but a lot of the people watching Eurovision in the end were relieved that this won, and we could all kind of unite in the happiness for JJ and Austria winning this. With that final split screen, it was a bit tense, to say the least.
Absolutely agree.
The song itself, you know, it's not necessarily my favorite. Honestly, if I look at just musical composition and all that, I wouldn't have even let it qualify from the semifinal. That's a bit of a hot take,
That's
probably,
a hot take.
but it's just, yeah, it's not something I listen to personally. But he did amazingly live.
He did. Yeah. His performance
the
was pretty great
staging
with that.
elevated it as well. So it's yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine.
If you listen,
So-
it was very operatic, and that is a very impressive thing to be able to sing. like that.
Could I jump in as a useful layman here?
Yeah, please.
In the conversation. So, aside from politics, which we mentioned earlier, what criteria are these songs rated on? Like, how a winner is chosen? Is it all about like how much you stir up the crowd during the actual live performance, or is it like compositional elements get taken into consideration?
And
What's up?
before you answer, Jelrik, if you could just maybe quickly run down the basic voting process from like getting into semifinals to choosing a winner, like how it works basically.
Yeah, sure thing. So in the semifinals nowadays, we have only televote, which means that only the people at home get to decide who proceeds to the final and who doesn't.
Right.
And then in the final itself, you have both jury votes and televotes. The jury show, where they allocate their points, that happens the night before the grand final is televised.
Right.
So 50% of the result is already decided before the whole thing even starts and is broadcasted on TV. And what the jury, I think there are specific criteria that the jury judge the songs and their performances and stuff by. How consistent they are, I'm not always too sure.
Right.
Because vocal performance is definitely something very important, and I think originality and song composition can be as well. But then also we have Espresso Macchiato doing surprisingly well with the jury. So, you know, that's it's not always 100% clear.
Yeah.
But they have specific criteria that they judge by, and then the televote is just basically, okay, I like this, I will send vote now.
Yeah, for sure. It is a little bit of a black box to try and see just when the jury results finally come out, like, oh, how was this chosen? But yeah, it happens.
Do people do people vote for their own country's representative usually? Like,
no, you cannot vote for your own country.
Ah.
You do see,
that's smart.
That would be very, that would
biased.
Make the competition very askew in favor of
like a population contest. Yeah.
And then, I mean, you still
have that in Junior Eurovision, though.
Oh, really?
That's kind of whack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. But you can just vote online and everyone can select their own country. And
so I guess Germany always wins there.
I guess it would. No, they've participated twice and did only slightly okay one time. So.
Fair enough.
Nothing too crazy for Germany there compared to the adult contest.
Yeah.
But wait, what was the question? Hold up.
About the voting process, if you have anything else, I guess, to add. Wait, that was the point. With regards to voting for your own country, you do see a lot of diaspora votes, which means that, like, for example, a person who migrated from a certain country connects more easily to a performance and song that represents that culture. Right.
You do see, for example, a striking example this year is that in England there's a big Lithuanian diaspora. So I think England's 10 or 12 points went to Lithuania because of it.
Oh, wow.
In my opinion, that was fully deserved anyway, but there's definitely some effect of that.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yes.
It's like a repeated joke, kind of, the whole Greece-Cyprus thing, for example, that relationship, which that would be, for example, like a neighboring thing, right? That we see often enough.
Yes, yeah. Greece and Cyprus are just, I think, in Dutch we say een vak apart. They are just comedic at this point. Like, everyone just chants when the jury spokesperson comes along. They just chant. For example, if Cyprus is giving points, Greece,
Yeah.
Greece. So everyone knows that's just like 12-12 reciprocation every time.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I think
funny.
I've only started watching Eurovision since 2019 because I came to this country and I started watching it with you. And I need reparations, man. You've ruined me. But I feel like that relationship has been constant since then. I might be wrong, of course, but I feel like they've always voted each other.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, definitely. It's way back. It's going way back.
It goes way back.
I think this might be me reading too much into it, but even like Australian jury this year had a Cypriotic spokesperson, and they gave 12 to Greece.
How does Turkey feel about all of this?
How does Turkey feel?
Well, Turkey doesn't participate anymore. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, some countries
play.
have stopped participating for various reasons. I mean, we lost Russia a couple years back. Hungary stopped participating not too long ago.
Yes.
I find that kind of funny.
Any notable reasons why? Like maybe obviously Russia is like a political thing, but for the countries where there was no, what were some different reasons? For example, like Hungary, why did they leave?
Well, Hungary, I guess to an extent it's also a political thing.
Sure.
With regards to it, just say it in a very nice manner, I guess. The Eurovision is nowadays a very LGBTQIA plus friendly space.
Yeah.
And Hungary didn't really resonate with that anymore.
Right. Okay. So that was the decision to step out and to stop sending some music.
There's probably more going on, but that was definitely like explicitly named as one of the reasons.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hungary, we have a question from our favorite Hungarian truck driver, Bence, out on the road shipping them tomatoes or whatever out in the fields of.
It's genetically modified raccoons.
Yes, as he does. He's got a question for you, Jelrik, which is, what makes you like Eurovision so much? What is your favorite aspect of it?
That's a good question. I think, on a conscious level, it's probably just the whole. It fascinates me how a country, how a delegation, can take a song and be like, okay, how do we want to present it to the public?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, they decide things on like vocal mixing, they decide things on like color palette of the staging, the choreography, the camera angles, like how they try to make the most perfect package possible out of what they got is really fascinating to me. On a not so rational level, it's just really fun. It's just the whole build up, the whole feeling of community around it as well. There's like tons of Eurovision YouTubers. There's tons of people who like upload their tops way before the show, and you kind of like compare and you kind of like bash each other for having a shitty opinion and all that. It's just really fun. And there's definitely, especially in the recent editions, there's definitely some mental strain that comes with it as well. But yeah, the fun outweighs it by a lot.
Yeah, I hear that. And I think one thing it's also kind of a constant, right? I mean, it's yearly. I mean, okay, there was an issue with COVID, but there were still songs that were released, and you can expect it every year, right? And you can expect the thrill every year, which I totally see why it's almost addictive to like make it an event, right? To make it a celebration. And it is sometimes it's very magical. Sometimes it's awful.
Yeah, I feel like addictive is definitely a good way to put it as well. Like I would 100% say, especially during Eurovision week, I'm obsessed.
Yes.
Addicted could definitely be a synonym of that at some point. Yeah, it's just the event, the whole thrill of it, the build up to it, and then the huge conclusion. It all just make it really fun.
Absolutely. Well, before we dive into some more of the songs that came out this year, I wanted to jump back to one from 2022, which I know is one of your favorites and probably one of mine as well, because it's just really beautiful. And it's by an artist called Maro. And could you tell me a little bit about it as you're clicking away on your keyboard?
Don't mind me just searching up some stats to not get it wrong. Like Saudade. Honestly, I'm not entirely too sure of the exact meaning. I always interpreted it as like a sad breakup song, basically, the classic. But saudade is a word in Portuguese that's very specific to that language. I don't think many, if at all, any language has a direct translation of it. It's just kind of like this sentimental feeling of sadness about a breakup in this case. And I feel this song, like with the whole composition, with the whole soundscape and the vocal harmonies, is just a really warm hug.
Absolutely.
And they portrayed that perfectly as well on stage, if you ask me. So
Yeah.
yes.
So this
I love
song
it a lot.
represented Portugal?
Yes.
Nice. And what place did they end up getting in the final?
They became ninth.
Pretty
with
good.
207 points.
That is pretty good,
Definitely
yeah.
not reading that off a screen. They, yes. I mean, I would have liked to see a top 5, but it was never really in contention to win. So then ninth is a really good result, and yeah, I'm satisfied.
Fair enough. Well, I hear you. Let's take a listen to Saudade, Saudade by Maro, the 9th place in the final of Eurovision 2022. Be right back on Happy Hour FM.
I've tried to write a million other songs, but somehow I can't move on. Oh, you're gone. Takes time, alright, and I know it's no one's fault, but somehow I can't move on. Oh, you're gone. Nothing more that I can say says it in a better way. Nothing more that I can say says it in a better way. Tem tanto que trago comigo. Foi sempre o meu porto de abrigo. E agora nada faz sentido. Perdi o meu melhor amigo. E se não for demais, peço por sinais. Resta uma só palavra. Saudade, saudade. Nothing more that I can say says it in a better way. Saudade, saudade. Nothing more that I can say says it in a better way. Nothing more that I can say says it in a better way. I tried alright, but it's killing me inside. Thought you'd be by my side always.
Welcome back to Happy Hour FM. That was Saudade, Saudade by Maro, which was the 9th place grand final. Well, 9th place in the grand finals of the 2022 Eurovision. And we're here with my boy Jelrik Landstra talking all about Eurovision facts, insight, anything you could dream about. Jelrik, how you doing?
Hello. I am still very entertained. I like hearing Eurovision songs, and I like talking to you guys. So
That's great. We like it best when our guests like the show as well. It's really good. So we've
No, I actually
That's
like to
the
make
feedback feels
people
nice to hear.
extremely uncomfortable and force them to sit in a chair for an hour.
absolutely. Well, that song.
Glad I'm in Utrecht.
It's good to be distant. But that song, Saudade, Saudade, I find it really, really beautiful. And I remember that the staging to me also plays a big part of it. And I'm sure you'll agree. It's just got that like really intimate feeling of it, right?
Yes, yeah. It's just like a circle of girlies just singing with each other, just kind of, I don't know, having this reminiscent look on their faces and clapping along with the clappy percussion in the chorus. It's nothing spectacular, nothing bombastic, no pyro or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's just very stripped down, and that's perfect for the song.
Absolutely. I love that you mentioned that because it makes me think how a lot of people who aren't really plugged into Eurovision, which I don't blame anyone because it's whatever, but maybe they have the impression that Eurovision is always this very flamboyant or huge. It is huge, but maybe each thing is huge, right? Like you have the impressions of like Epic Sax Guy from many years back, stuff like that. But you have stuff like this, which is what I would make an assumption that a lot of the real fans really like. And then it's like, oh, well, this is really like chill and insightful and cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the same with Portugal this year, in my opinion, and that's why they were my favorite again this year. Like, of course, the whole over-the-top part of it and the crazy show style stuff, it's fun, it's entertaining. I can definitely see how it turns some people off as well, but it's a thing that reels people in as well.
For sure.
But then songs that are very stripped back and very relaxed and just all about the music and just the meaning and the feeling that they try to convey, they jump out that much more. And
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've got another question from a listener, which is any tips to make watching Eurovision fun with a group of friends? Maybe in regards to people who are not so plugged into Eurovision or haven't watched it before.
Well, the thing we did last Saturday was Eurovision Bingo.
Yeah.
I feel like that went down pretty well.
I think so.
Yeah, people were excited for that. You just kind of make a bingo sheet consisting of all these prompts about, okay, what is stereotypical Eurovision stuff that happens, and then when it happens, you cross it off. And
Absolutely.
now I have to think of prizes to give to the people who participated.
It was really fun. Yeah, it was a good way to like really pay attention to every detail.
Yes, and otherwise, if that doesn't work, I don't know. I don't drink myself, but I've seen plenty of Eurovision drinking games. So if that's the kind of fun you're into, then go for that.
I can imagine you get demolished with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if you're not as much like part of the Eurovision bubble or not that much into it or anything, don't take it too seriously. Just, make some fun of the things you see as well. That's totally fine, as long as you don't do it on Twitter or whatever to the artist's faces.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, in the end, you might just find a song you like. That's the bare minimum outcome, or
Just
something to
maybe.
make fun of. Yeah.
Like you with Siam.
Yes, I do. That will. You know what? We'll go into that one next. The song from Albania. But I do want to ask Chris. So, have you watched Eurovision before?
I just woke up here. What are you talking about? No, I also, like you, have a friend who's a big expert on Eurovision, and every year when the time comes, he sends me some videos from that, and I watch like 5 seconds, and I'm like, my head explodes, and then I go back to whatever I was doing. So no, I can't say that I've seen a show in its entirety.
That's fair. Yeah.
So,
do you think you would give it a shot with some? Maybe next year we sit down together.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think so.
That's totally fair. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But my friend enjoys it, so don't yuck anybody else's yum.
I love that saying.
Yeah. It's a goofy saying, but
it's great. Well, I'm going to jump right into it. The next song is going to be Albania's song from this year, which is called Zjerm, which I believe means fire, I think. Jelrik?
I think so too. I think so too. I think it was the Zjerm that means fire and the Strit that means shine.
Shine.
Sparkle, or something
Gotcha.
like that. Yes.
Yeah. What place did this song get? Because it did quite well.
I think it got 8th, if I remember correctly. I don't have a page pulled up right now. This is from the top of my head. I think it got 8th. It tied with Ukraine when it comes to the points, but then it got more televote points than Ukraine, so then it placed above them.
Yeah. Great. Well, let's jump right into this. Is Zjerm by Škodra Elektronika, I believe is the artist.
Yes,
it is
perfectly pronounced.
Thank you, Albanian friend. And they are a couple, and they go check out their performance on YouTube or whatever. It's really cool, and she is an absolutely amazing singer. We'll be right back.
minutën këtë qast në paranoja Pas qio të ylber të duket puta Në peru pas një ambulancë Kërë kërskët me arogancë Edhe se të në tanë që s'peshet koha Për punën dhe në nujë kërë s'mu thot koja Imagina një minut po ushtar për jetima As një shishe në që janë As që vjenera jarka dhe një në kjo Sa më thonë shko Hopa Kryo në mua një zemër të postër Në notën tyne Të dërgoj dritën Aman miserere Aman miserere Në zemrën time, zemrën teme Kë minutën të vazhdoj Njerës të mire, njerës po emër Kërcen fadën shpirt Jarna leti të tajme Ku kam linë sot e haroj Jarna leti të tajme Vazhdo me shnejt, 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 shnejt
Zjerë, bjerë mi valet tona tribale që uhtojnë saur dhe ku kur bjen male Zjerë, njerës të pa emen e njerës të dlirt Njëse këputën e binjë si shtatë theka që të mullin shpirt Zjerë, këtu flendet Tirana e hana e yë Si shofim se yët në e shkel koma kur ecim njerë Zjerë, jenat undë për flake drit E të kërkojmë këtë tef që s'pran të i shnajt
Kryo në mua një zemër të postër Në notën tyne Të dërgoj dritën Aman miserere Aman miserere Në zemrën time, zemrën teme Kë minuto të vazhdoj Njerës të mire, njerës po emër Kërcen fadën shpirt Jarna leti të tajme Ku kam linë sot e haroj Jarna leti të tajme Vazhdo me shnejt, 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 shnejt
You're listening to Happy Hour FM. That was Zjerm, the Albanian song for this year's Eurovision. And we're here with, as usual, with Jelrik Landstra, our Eurovision expert live from Utrecht. That's such a beautiful song, isn't it, man?
Yes, I like it a lot. It took me a while to get into it, really, because also during the national final of Albania, I was. I'm not usually very much into the pop girly ballads. This time, I was very much rooting for the pop girly ballad, but after a while, I found my peace with Zjerm, and now I can really see why it's such a fan favorite in the Eurovision bubble. It's really good.
Right. Yeah, I really like it. I really love the dynamic they have between the female vocals and the deep guy vocals.
yeah. And like everything of the song as well, like it carries its meaning because she kind of represents the hope for a better reality, for a more peaceful reality and all that. And he is just kind of like the harsh reality of like, you're in my shackles. Good luck escaping this and that kind of stuff. So it's really symbolic as well. And I love that.
Yeah, great. Well, let's talk odds a little bit because a big part of like Eurovision or the weeks going up to Eurovision are kind of like constantly checking how the odds are changing, right? Because a lot of info comes out, maybe like the song is chosen for a certain country, and then the odds are kind of edited to see like, okay, how is this song gonna do, whatever. How are the odds looking for this year? What was the predicted like winner before anything started?
So you mean like before the semifinals, before the final, before?
Give me a couple rundowns. Yeah, different moments.
Well, I mean, I guess at all points it was kind of like the same with regards to who was winning. They all thought Sweden. The percentages just differed throughout the week.
Yeah.
But Sweden was at around 40% chance, 41% chance to win in the beginning of the week, and after the live show, the grand final on Saturday before the voting closed, they even rose up to 49% chance. So basically a 50-50 if they would win or not.
That's mad. And they didn't, right? They got fourth place, if I remember.
Yeah, they got fourth. They didn't even win the televote. They didn't even get close to Espresso Macchiato, for example, when it comes to televote points. So
yeah.
I think everyone was kind of shocked through that.
It makes me wonder, like, how do you feel about these odds in general, whether or not they are accurate or like maybe totally off or often a little bit off? How do you feel about the value that they add to the competition?
Well, so in the previous years, especially in the year that Loreen entered again, so in 2023,
yeah,
it was Loreen on top the whole way through, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And then if that just simply also happens, of course, it gives it all a bit of a feeling that it was kind of predictable. And
right, yeah.
That's maybe not the best climax show-wise. But then this year, you see the completely different side of it, where Kai with Barabadabastu, they were at 49% chance of winning before the voting had closed. And they honestly don't even get really close to the win.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't mind the odds. They're fun. They're also good to keep up with as a Eurovision fan in the lead up. It builds excitement as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's a fun sort of like, oh, are they right? Maybe I can predict something different. Yeah. I guess for some context, anyone doesn't know, Loreen, I mean, she's pretty famous, but she won in 2012 with Euphoria, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then what was it? 2023? She came back, right? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
2023. She came back with Tattoo. In between, she tried another time as well in 2017.
Yeah.
But then she didn't even pass the semi-final of the Swedish national final, which was absolutely bonkers. So then I guess in 2023 she got her revenge. Yes.
Very great for her. It was a great performance as well, though. A lot of people do feel the runner-up, Karja, which represented what was Finland, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It felt that he was robbed a little bit because the jury was maybe too powerful, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I can see why people would think that. I also, in general, like, Karja did win the televote by a huge mile. So
yeah.
Then I can see how the people get a bit disillusioned of that, because like they voted a lot for who they thought would have to win, and then the jury would just kind of rob them of the chance of saying anything. I get why people were a bit upset with that, and we also slightly saw that last year with Nemo, the Code. They came obviously first with the juries by a large mile. I think even a bigger gap than Loreen did.
Right.
Then I don't think they even got top 5 with the televote.
Yeah.
So I think they got 4th or 6th.
But it's in these cases where something like people maybe go against the jury because they feel that they're too influential on the final outcome, right?
Yeah, but then this year, thank the Lord because of a situation.
Because of a situation.
Most people know, yes.
Yeah, understandable.
So the juries redeemed themselves kind of this year. Yes.
Yeah. Earlier you mentioned the national finals. Now, that has nothing to do with the semifinals or finals of the actual song contest, but that is the kind of song selection phase, right? Could you talk a little bit about that, how different countries handle finding a song?
Yeah, sure. So in general, you kind of have 2 ways of going about it. You either have a national final or you have an internal selection. Internal selection is just like a committee who chooses an artist and a song, and they're like, this will do well. That's, for example, how we've been choosing, like the Netherlands has been choosing their songs for the last lot of years, I guess. That's how Joost Klein got selected. That's how Claude got selected this year. Yeah. And then you have a lot of countries as well who organize a whole show about selecting their songs. So they get several entries submitted to it. Yeah. And then they host a live television show. And that's kind of like a mini Eurovision in its own. And especially Sweden is very passionate about their national final.
Like the Melody Song Festival or whatever.
Melodifestivalen.
It's very cute. I think it's a great idea. If, of course, the country has the resources available to host a minor competition like that. It's a really fun idea.
Yeah.
And
resources is a big thing, of course.
Of course, yeah. Wasn't it true that Germany for a while did internal selection, but now, or this year, changed it up?
They've been a bit here and there with it. For example, Michael Schulte with You Let Me Walk Alone back in 2018. I think that was internally selected, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I could very well be mistaken with that one. They've been doing national finals as well, though. So this year was definitely not the first time in a while.
Okay,
Last year we had Isaac who won their national final. And I don't have a list of all German entries on
no worries.
my head right now, but they've been doing national finals for a bit, yes.
Yeah, well, I just ask as a German myself, and I just want to bring it up because the song for this year was actually surprisingly solid for German standards.
Yeah, Germany doesn't tend to do that well. I'm sorry to the German girl in our Softies fan group. It's simply the reality.
It's true.
I wish you would do better, and this year you made a great step with Balla, I think.
Let's have a listen to Balla by Abo and Tina, two siblings. Be right back.
Silhouetten auf dem Trottoir, zwischen unseren Tatort wie bei CSI. Hast Baby, tut mir leid gesagt zum ersten Mal. Hätt wissen sollen, dass das Ende von uns war. Du setzt einen Punkt nach dem Satz, als hättest du mich nie bekannt. Weißt du, wechsel ich Parfums und kauf mir neues Gefallen. Ich krieg wieder diesen Traum, ich will den Weltuntergang. Ha, ich glaub, das war's, I shoot for the stars. Ich an die Nacht, Sterne fallen und knallen auf mein Dach. Es tut noch bisschen weh, wenn ich dich wieder sehe, aber ich komm nie wieder, egal was du mir sagst. Ich an die Nacht, Sterne fallen und knallen auf mein Dach. Es tut noch bisschen weh, wenn ich dich wieder sehe, aber ich komm nie wieder, egal was du mir sagst. Ich seh die Sternensplitter auf meiner Haut wie Glitzer. Hab gelernt, was mich nicht killt, macht mich nur schicker. Würdest du für mich immer noch ne Kugel fangen? Weil deine Waffe ist jetzt in meiner Hand. Ich setz einen Punkt nach dem Satz, als hätte ich dich nie gekannt. Und dann wechsel ich Parfums und kauf mir neues Gewand. Ich krieg wieder diesen Drang, ich will den Weltuntergang. Ha, ich glaub, das war's, I shoot for the stars. Ich an die Nacht, Sterne fallen.
You're listening to Happy Hour FM, and we're having a lovely time listening to some Eurovision songs that came and played this last Saturday. This is Balla, the German entry by Abo and Tina. And I'm here with my resident Eurovision expert live from Utrecht. Now tell me, Jelrik, what place did this song actually get in the end?
I think this got 15th, if I remember correctly.
Which is great, all things considered. For Germany standards.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah. Last year they also ended up around that area, but that was very much a jury carried song. But like this year they also did well with the televote, and I feel like that's mainly the big step for Germany now.
Yeah, that people liked the song.
Yes. Doesn't happen often.
I have to. So Chris had to run, so it's just me in the studio now with my buddy Jelrik, and we do have another question for you actually from another listener.
Exciting.
The listener asks, "What's the most underrated Eurovision song?" Yeah, tough one.
Oh, there's so much.
You can go
There's so
far back
much.
with this one.
I've opened my top 50 of all time, and I'm gonna have to say North Macedonia in 2017, Dance Alone by Jana Burcheska.
Damn.
Because the song didn't even qualify for the final, and based on staging and vocals, I understand why, but I'm still very sad about it. It was very good.
Well, I'm going to play it in the background if you don't mind. I'm very curious to I don't think I've heard this before, or maybe I have. I feel like you would have showed me, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't show you because I don't necessarily think this is a song that's very up your alley. It's kind of like standard girl bop, but in a very synthwave-y way, I would say.
Well, sometimes all you need is a good girl bop to take you through the day.
Yeah, sometimes I guess so.
Amazing.
There's
So-
the exceptions to the rule.
Yeah. Well, so you told me that you got some friends listening who are all part of the community, and you mentioned a little bit about kind of communal efforts you can do or you do in like when Eurovision is coming up. But how do you find yourself kind of interacting with a sort of Eurovision community? What's the vibe like with you and this group?
So with this WhatsApp group, it's been a couple of years now that we've hosted our own kind of like softies Eurovision, where we all make up our top 37s, I guess, for this year.
Yeah.
Top amount of songs that happen for each year, and then we kind of see, okay, how has each person placed this song, and how do the scores total up, and then we see who is our winner and that kind of stuff.
That's lovely. Yeah.
And then now for the first time, actually ever, we're also like kind of this Spanish guy mainly like is the organizer of it. He's kind of hosted this like softie song contest where we kind of get allocated a country, and then we kind of deep dive into the music scene of that country, or just pick an artist we already know of that country, and we kind of make a Eurovision out of non-Eurovision songs.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm very curious about what the result's going to be. I've already selected my entry for the country I was allocated, but it's a mystery to everyone else. So I will keep that on the down low for now.
Very nice.
And then besides that, outside of the fan group, there's a lot of Eurovision YouTubers who post videos or live stream about the events and just kind of go over odds and blog posts and reactions and all that stuff, and just kind of interact with, okay, how is this song doing? Is this song doing what we expected it to beforehand?
Yeah.
Or is the song doing better or worse? What's the staging like? And I just spent a lot of time last week in the chat on such live streams and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that will keep you occupied as well. That kind of
Fantastic,
stuff.
man. Well, we're reaching the last couple minutes of the show, and I think we should jump into one more song, maybe that you felt represented the kind of quality of this year, perhaps. Do you have any picks for us to listen to?
Oh goodness. Well, I guess it will be nice to come full circle. Earlier on, we talked about the songs that are kind of like more stripped down,
Yeah.
and kind of pop because of it. And my winner of this year was a song like that. It was Deslocado by Napa. It was again Portugal.
Nice.
They have this tendency of just sending whatever they feel vibes best, and
That's lovely.
seeing wherever that gets them. So I would love that one.
Yeah.
personally.
All right. Well, we'll listen to Deslocado by Napa, and then we'll be right back to say goodbye and to lead us into the next show, Sugar Daddy Radio. Stay tuned.
Conto os dias para mim, com a mala arrumada, já quase não cabia a saudade acumulada. Do azul vejo o jardim, mesmo por trás da asa, maior é a janela que eu tô a chegar a casa. 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 eu vim do meio do mar, no coração do oceano. Eu tenho a vida inteira, o meu caminho eu faço a pensar em regressar à minha casa, Ilha Paz Madeira.
Now, welcome back to Happy Hour FM. I hate to cut off the song in the last couple of minutes, but we did receive a pretty fun question from a listener, and I felt that I had to do them justice and share it, or ask our resident Eurovision expert, Jelrik. Are you there, my friend? Are you listening?
Yes, but the best part was just coming up, man.
Should I kick it back up for the best part for a second?
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. This
Well,
deserves its
go
attention.
check
It's all
out
good.
go check out Dislocata on Spotify or whatever by Napa. The question is, before we end the show, from a poet you might know as Ben Hart. The question is, Jelrik, where does your passion for Eurovision come from? Who is your favorite ever act? And if you could run Eurovision, what changes would you like to make? It's 3 questions, but maybe I'd like you to touch on the last one. What changes would you make about Eurovision?
Well, we made the we said that we weren't gonna get too political on this. So, like, I will kind of hint towards but glance over a very obvious change I would make.
Sure.
I think many listeners can fill the blanks in for themselves there. Besides that, I think also we saw this year especially that it's quite easy to manipulate the televote in your favor, because there's been voting campaigns going on. There's people with burner phones underneath the TV that can vote more than you should be able to.
Not good.
I feel like some investigation into that should be done. And then I would also, because we still do have a very jury-dominated Eurovision climate, it's been jury winners these last 3 years, I would look into, okay, how can we make the juries be a bit more favorable to different kinds of songs than the typical jury song, which is good vocals, very
all right,
good structure.
I have to cut you off last couple seconds. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's all good.
Next up, Sugar Daddy Radio. We'll be back next week.
Het geluid van Groningen. Dit is Oog Radio. Nieuws.